my name is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about the mirror effect and how to make reality your friend, your amigo. And this has been a huge game changer for me and will be for you too. This is an energetic game changer that will empower you on your journey and accelerate your personal and spiritual development like crazy, and make your life way easier and effortless. So let's get into it. The idea that you've likely heard before is that our external reality is a holographic mirror, a projection of our consciousness. Now, this can be great when everything's going well, when we're manifesting, the law of attraction's working, everything is going in our favor. Like, yes, of course it is our mirror. This is wonderful. But when things come up and are more challenging, aka 2020, it's like, I don't know if I want to believe in that concept, or how also do I work with this. The idea is that the reality mirror is actually an indicator system. It is showing us, it is talking to us. It is actually our ally and friend on the path to help direct us and go, hey, you need to go a little bit more over here. You need to go a little bit more over here. But when we don't listen or know how to interact with it, it can seem like not our friend and our enemy. So in this video, I'm going to share why these negative things pop up, how to then work with them and get to the root reflection of what it's trying to say, as well as 3 ways to shift when this negativity pops up in our reality. So this realization that the reality is my friend really popped up for me last year when 2020 was happening, breakup was happening, big changes in my businesses were happening, and it seemed like my actual external reality was falling apart. And I heard very clear guidance and inspiration from my guides and from my higher self saying, oh, no, we're trying to tell you something through these reality reflections. And so then I followed that. I followed that guidance and went down the steps and found the core roots of why these things were coming up, and my life changed. So helpful. So I was explaining this concept of the reality being my friend in an indicator system that Bashar talks about the reality mirror as your higher self. And I went, oh, yes, that's totally it. It is your higher self keeping you on track on your soul path. But when communication and translation don't quite go together, it doesn't seem that way. So let's get into now why this trickiness, why this negativity pops up when it seems, and we're intentionally putting out our best, right? What you put out is what you get back. So we're putting out positivity, we're taking positive action. Why is the challenge, why is the negativity actually still popping up? This takes us to morphogenetics. I talk about morphogenetics a lot when I talk about constellation, when I talk about ancestral healing work. I have videos on all this stuff, so go check them out. I don't remember which side it is. And I don't have a pointer finger, so it's a little strange, but we got mitts. I feel like a puppet master right now. Anyways, the idea is that you're putting out your energy, your conscious energy, and then this negativity is coming back. But there's many more other things being put out in this manifestation reflection. We're putting out all the time, particularly different morphogenetics. Morphogenetics being that our genetics puts out energetic and vibrational currents. It is so a part of us, it is so entrained in everything that we are, it's our genetics, that we don't realize that it's not ours often. So we might wonder, why is this thing happening? But there's a lot of different morphogenetic fields, collective morphogenetics, cultural imprints, ancestral stuff with your parents. All these things are playing out through you, and you might not even know it. And getting into the little stats of how big this is, over 50% of your issues in your life, your challenges, come from ancestors, according to the Toltec tradition, and around 70% of relationship challenges comes from parental imprints, conditioning, according to Mark Wolin. So a majority of our challenges are coming from these other fields. And definitely add in collective weirdness is what I've been calling it for 2020. There's a lot of other energetic stuff flowing through you and your energetics of what you're putting out. And this is reflecting back the negativity. So the key is to get to the root cause of what is generating this. And that is what the higher self, that is what the reality mirror is trying to say. Hey, pointer finger, hey, can you look over here? Because you're going to need to work on this mom and dad thing, or you're going to need to work on this soul karmic imprint, or you're going to need to let go of this cultural matrix conditioning to actually become more whole and move forward on the next step of your path. And it's going to keep on nicely as much as it can. It doesn't want to turn up the volume, but sometimes we make it because we resist it or bypass it. It's like, okay, you still need to look at this. You still need to look at this, right? And so it keeps on coming up to look at, to integrate, to become more whole. So I'm going to go into the steps of how to do this in just a second. But first, we have to go back to the big picture. Why are we here as souls? What the heck are we doing? We're here to grow. We're here to expand. We're here to illuminate the unconscious compartmentalizations and patterns to come into more unification, more authenticity as our soul expression. So sure, we're here to have fun and play out all the law of attraction things that make our life exciting, but it's not about the ego fulfillment. It's about the soul fulfillment and the journey itself. So when we return to that understanding and go, oh, yeah, it's about this discovery process of the soul. It's not just about, oh, why did I manifest this other relationship this way? Or why can't I manifest the mansion that I want? It's not just about that. It's about the treasure of what we manifest through this experience, through this journey. And so returning to that big picture, I think, is always helpful, because then when we don't get the kind of little manifestations or challenges come up, we're not as driven by the ego, and we can return to the true core reason of why we're here. So from that space, as the indicator of the reality mirror pops something up in your life, collective weirdness, job changes, relationship changes, whatever it is that's popping up in your life, the first place to begin is to acknowledge it. The first place to begin is with neutrality. So with objectivity, to go, okay, that thing keeps on popping up. I'm going to need to look at that. And so to humbly accept that it is what is right now. When you can do that, that is the first place to start. Because often when things pop up, we go, that's happening again. And we run away, we bypass, we shut down, we dissociate, do all these weird different kinds of things. It's just going to keep popping up. So when we realize it's just going to keep popping up, and then we look at it, humility, neutrality, objectivity, that is the first place to start. Step one. Step two is moving into the space of willingness to discover with curiosity why the heck it's coming up and where it's coming from. What is the core origin? What is the root cause of this reflection? Oftentimes, again, it's not yours. So I have a video to help you map possible sources of where things are coming from, right? It can be ancestral, it can be past life, it can be all these different kinds of things. So figuring out why this is happening, why it's manifesting through you, is going to be step two. And have curiosity and willingness to go on that discovery process is key. Then the third step is the acceptance of that shift. Once you make that discovery, once you go through the process that you need to release whatever that thing was that wasn't yours, or however that processing works in step two. I have tons of other videos of how to do that. Once you do that, then it's the acceptance that the change has happened. To let it be okay, to let it be effortless, that drama, that challenge doesn't have to keep popping up, which is an actual very courageous step that's really, really key. Because what it does is it puts the creatorship back in our hands. It's not like, oh, I'm a victim to my reality, or this thing constantly coming up. It's like, oh, I'm the creator. And that puts the responsibility on us to continue on that path, to be more whole, to be more of ourselves, which sometimes can be challenging because we're scared of our greatness, scared of our power, because we do become more powerful the more integrated and whole we become. So that acceptance is a key part. Now, if you follow David Dr. Hawkins' work, which I'll do a whole video on, his levels of consciousness, I reverse engineer what works for me, and then this is where I come up with the steps. But his levels of consciousness follow these steps. This space of courage and neutrality to actually look at what's happening, the willingness to go for it and change it, in the acceptance of that actual change. So you're going up in levels of consciousness, more wholeness in this particular category that you're looking at, that your higher self, your guides are pointing to you, and then you expand. So this is the process of how you do it. This has been so helpful for me, for the realization, the true understanding that the reality, the reflections that pop up, the challenges that pop up, the good stuff that pop up, are communications with your higher self that are helping you along your journey. It is your friend. It is your ally. Sometimes it's hard to translate, or we don't want to, but it is like the friend telling you the truth that you don't want to hear. That's really what it is. So the sooner we can accept this and go like arm in arm forward in our reality, the more effortless, the more flow, the more expansion that we will experience in our lives. So that's my transmission for the day. That's my sharing. I hope it's been helpful. Please comment below and let me know how the reality mirror, and let all of us know how the reality mirror is reflecting to you right now. What is it indicating for you to look at? And of course, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell button so you get notifications every time I do new videos. Be sure to go get my free meditation down below so that you can be a part of my newsletter as well, so you can be in communication with me as these algorithms and everything changes in the world. I am right now in Lake Tahoe, California. My reality mirror has brought me up here 4 times in the past 6 months. And it's really, really exciting to be in the forest and to be kneeling in snow right now as I make this. So thank you so much for supporting my journey and being such a beautiful reflection. I always, always, always appreciate you all so, so much. So sending you lots of love, and I will see you next time.